Hey guys, so thank you for coming back. Happy Wednesday. I wanted to do this makeup look while also talking to you guys about Bring Me the Horizon and their whole thing lately. So for those who don't know, they released their album Amo, and they're kind of getting a lot of backlash on it, like backlash that I never thought that they would get. But I just wanted to talk about that, and then also a little bit about being a fan and also just little stuff here and there, but it's mainly surrounding Bring Me the Horizon and music in general. So if you guys, want to see how I did this, then keep watching. So, I didn't want to show how I do my face, at least putting foundation on, because I feel like that's a waste of time. Because I've done how many get readies with me, you guys should know. If not, just do your regular foundation. So one reason why I actually wanted to talk about Bring Me the Horizon today is because I feel like there's a lot of like stuff happening with like everybody, with like a lot of people not liking the new album and stuff. Trust me, I get it completely. I didn't really like the album at first, but I'm starting to listen to it, and with time the album is more likable. But as of right now, I think I only like 3 or 4 songs off that album. If you've been following me on social media, especially my Snapchat, then you guys will have seen that one day I had posted sometime last week that I was excited to listen to Wonderful Life. I want to say that's what the song is called, Wonderful Life by Bring Me. And I was basically saying like I can't wait to go to their concert, to go to their show and like see them. It's been forever. I think it's been like 2 years or so. That's where I posted anything about any of their new music, because I haven't really posted about it because I'm still like trying to like it and I'm still trying to get used to their new sound. I want to say I posted it like February 12th or so. I was really excited to hear their new songs live, because sometimes for me personally, I like new albums after seeing how they perform live and how they sound live. I know that it's completely different if you want to compare live versions to studio versions. Obviously it's going to be different, but I'm just that type of person where it's like I might not like the album in studio version, but like if they perform it and I like it, then I'll like it. That's how I felt with this album. And come to find out, on the 15th, which was the day before the concert here in Las Vegas, that is canceled. And the reason I found out was not because like I keep up with Bring Me on any social medias at all, but Ticketmaster emailed me and was like, oh, the show's been canceled, you'll get refund. And so I was just like, like I was a little bit skeptical about it being canceled, because I'm like, I've been waiting for this for months. I bought my ticket last year. Like I was just so stoked about it. And so I went to their Instagram and I looked at their story. That's when Ollie actually posted he posted they're canceling it, and he also posted why they're canceling it. I couldn't really be mad at why they canceled, because literally like being a vocalist is Ollie's like career. That's his career. That's mostly how he makes his living. To avoid his vocal cords being damaged further, he has to rest. I also get the fans' side as well, especially the fans that are really upset about it. And not the upset to where they're being assholes upset, because there is some of those. So after I had read why they canceled, a few hours later, I had seen that they had put a post up and it was of their Jimmy Kimmel performance. I want to say it was Jimmy Kimmel. First of all, I'm not stupid. I know that was recorded prior. So I'm like, I'm not one of those people that were actually in the comments like, so you cancel Vegas and Phoenix to go and do this instead. And it's like, well, it was recorded ahead of time, so they just finally put the performance up. I didn't really listen to the song. I don't really care for the song that they performed. I'm not gonna say I hate it, because I don't think I hate it. I just haven't listened to it enough, but just the sound off the bat, I'm not into it. The first comment that I seen where I'm just like, oh my God. But this person said, why did you guys have to cancel the Vegas show? I understand medical issues, but at least show up and lip sync it. We want to see BMTH. First of all, no. I don't know if this person had ever seen Bring Me before, but that's not what you want. You would much rather, if you've seen them before, then you would understand. But you would much rather them not show up at all and cancel it rather than for them to show up and lip sync it and like fake the performance. BMTH, I've seen BMTH before, so I know how their concert is. And you want to see them when Ollie is perfectly healthy, he's not sick, nothing is wrong with his vocal cords, and the band just goes hard. Like, that is a dope performance. So I don't know if this person had ever seen them live before, but just that right off the bat, I'm just like, I don't think you've seen them before. Another comment was this is rude. This is very rude. Like, but somebody said, your vocals rupturing is karma for this blasphemy. Now, I get you don't like the song. I understand that. But saying that, basically saying this is what you get for creating music like this, that's just very rude and that's like out of line. I don't care who you are, but I don't think that it's right to say anything like that because, you know, that's messed up. Like, especially if you're a fan of this band, just because their new music now doesn't sound like their music then doesn't mean that it's a right thing to say. Literally. Like, I don't care what you guys are gonna think. Obviously, I'm going into this video knowing that I can get hate. Oh well. I understand that people don't like it when bands change their sound. Like, I completely get it. I understand it. But that doesn't mean that you should go and comment on every single thing they do, telling them how much their new album sucks. Especially if you call yourself like a fan. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, this person is probably a fan of their old stuff, not their new stuff. Obviously, I know. Hearing the new music now is kind of weird. I'm not going to say that I hate it because, like I said earlier, I don't hate it. But it's just not what I'm used to. And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, well, get used to it kind of thing. And like, I understand that. So I could understand where some of these people are saying like, I don't get it at all. I don't know why they would make music like this. It's not appealing or anything like that. They just need to realize that bands change. And you know what? I haven't seen any kind of like backlash like this with any other bands that I listen to. Okay, so let's take Motionless in White, for example. Their old stuff, comparing it to like The Graveyard Shift and Reincarnate, those were like the two different albums, comparing it to their older music. I haven't seen a lot of people express how much they don't like it. Also, the Amity Affliction. They just released their Misery album. And that literally does not sound like any of their, to me, it doesn't sound like any of their past albums, but they're also not receiving any sort of criticism like Bring Me the Horizon is getting. If I say the wrong word, people are going to get the wrong idea. But Bring Me the Horizon, on a worldwide scale, is a little bit more known than Amity Affliction and Motionless in White. And I want to say that's because of their songs, because a lot of their songs I hear a lot more on the radio than Motionless in White and the Amity Affliction. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. Once, what was it, Happy Song and Throne came out, those songs, everybody knew those songs, and then they started listening to Bring Me the Horizon. And so I think those songs kind of turned, you know, the band a little bit. Not the band. It changed the band's career in a certain sense because a lot more people were like going out of their way to go and listen to them and discover more of their music. And the sucky part is, it's one of those things where it's like a lot of the bands or a lot of the comments I see are like, oh, they're so mainstream now. And it's like, shouldn't that sort of make you a little bit happy? I know it doesn't to a lot of people, because then once bands and musicians become mainstream, they start to change their music and start to sound like whatever the company wants or like what certain people want. You should, especially if you're a fan, you should congratulate the band that you've been listening to. You should congratulate them on their hard work for finally being in a bigger eye, in a sense. So instead of it just being like the typical scene, it's like reaching a bigger audience now. I just feel like when people hate that bad to say that your vocals rupturing is karma for creating this blasphemy or whatever the person said is just out of line. There is also people's comments that I really liked, and it was just like this one, for example. It says, imagine hating this band because they changed their sound like every other group does, because I could never. And that's very true, like what I just talked about with Motionless in White and the Amity Affliction. They're not receiving the same kind of backlash that Bring Me the Horizon is getting. And then another person, I could understand where they were coming from. Somebody said, flew thousands of miles to see you in Phoenix. Thanks. That's not really talking about the album, but more of like, oh, it sucks that you guys canceled, like, what the heck, like, I just wasted money kind of thing. I understand that, because I would totally feel the same way if when me and Tita flew to Utah and San Diego to see Motionless in White, if they canceled, I would have been just as pissed, because it's like, well, what now? But at the same time, it's like, you're in Phoenix, go and do something in Phoenix that you never would have done. Yeah, you were going to the concert and that was it, but it's like, since you're already going there, don't waste your money and not get on that plane and go to Phoenix. Like, go and enjoy it. And then somebody else, this is what I like. I like when it's constructive criticism in a sense. Because then this person, I'm not going to read their whole tweet, or not tweet, it's not tweet, it's comments on Instagram. But they were basically saying how they liked the new album at first, but then they started listening to it and realized that there's no consistency within the album. And like, some people may not get that, but when they say consistency, they kind of mean like their concept. So mostly, a lot of bands, they'll have concepts. Nothing's consistent. And then if you have ever listened to their album Sempiternal, then you know their song Chasing Rainbows, I want to say, is the kind of like extra track. And this person was like, it sounds like I just got 13 Chasing Rainbow songs. They liked it, but then they kept listening to it and they came to a conclusion that they don't like it. In a sense, that's kind of constructive criticism, because he's not saying that he doesn't like it because he doesn't like their new sound. He doesn't like it because he's saying there's no consistency in it. And I'd never seen a comment like that, because a lot of people don't really give it that much of a thought. They just take it as, it doesn't sound like what I'm used to, so I'm not gonna like it. But this person actually took time to listen to it all. Those are the comments where I'm just like, oh, I can understand that. Because then a lot of the comments are just like, I hate this album sucks, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, well, tell me why. Like, an actual reason why, not just, I just don't like it. There was a lot of comments like that. Next. How about fuck Jimmy Kimmel since you guys canceled Vegas on us? I really don't think they understand. Okay, so he's been doing this for years. He's been a vocalist for years, as people know. And what some people don't know is that when you get sick, it makes your vocals worse if you like try and perform in that condition. So if you're sick, everybody suggests that, you know, you don't perform, because you're gonna mess yourself up even furthermore. And I think one reason why I really wanted to talk about this whole subject too is because even if I don't like a band's new music, I will still support them because I like that band in general. Like, an example is, because I know most of you guys, if you follow me on social media, then you guys will know that I have seen Motionless in White a lot of times. I'm not gonna say that I like every single album, the whole album in its entirety. I'm not gonna say that, because that's not true and that would just be a lie. So at first, I didn't care for many of the songs on Graveyard Shift. There was only a handful, like maybe like 570, Voices, Loud. And I want to say at first listen, I think those are, and Rats, those were the only songs that I really liked. But as time went on, you kind of just have to accept the fact that this band, they're changing their sound. So either you can mature with them and grow with them, or you can get stuck behind and just be left in the past. And one thing I want to say is, don't go to somebody's concert and be a heckler. Don't hope and pray that they play some of their old songs when they just released an album. That's what a lot of people don't understand, is that when people just release an album, most likely the tour that they're going on is in promotion of those albums. So of course they're gonna play mostly new songs and maybe a few old songs, but don't pray for it to be like Bring Me the Horizon, for example. I wouldn't sit there and be like, well, I hope they play Pray for Plagues or Diamonds Aren't Forever or Alligator Blood. I know for a fact that they'd sing Can You Feel My Heart from their Sempiternal album. I know that they would sing maybe Happy Song and Throne and Drown probably, but you gotta go there thinking they're gonna play, this is for their new album. And lastly, there's one comment in particular. I'm not gonna read it because I don't remember. This person's point of view I actually really liked, and it's really, you know, if you read it and you haven't really thought about it, then it's kind of eye-opening in a sense, because she's basically saying that, like, why would you want a band to be stuck in the same position for years on end? Now, when I say position, I mean how their music sounds. Because then basically she was just saying, like, why would you want them to sound the same for 10 years? Like, wouldn't you want them to change? Wouldn't you want new sounds? Like, why would you want them to stay the same? And that's very true, because no matter who you listen to, I'm sure you don't want them to stay in the same sounding genre for years and years on end without anything changing. By the way, I had to read that post over so much times because I'm like, did I miss something? Like, for some reason it wasn't registering in my brain, so I had to reread it so much times. Whoever watches this, I hope this could kind of change your perspective on how music just is, and how people, you know, they mature, they evolve, and along with them is their music. So of course that's going to change, that's going to mature, and that's going to evolve compared to what they used to sound like. Also, another thing I wanted to add is talking about the fans of any musician, any band, any group, anybody. One thing I want to add is when somebody becomes more well known, of course they're going to attract more people from anywhere in the world. And I just wanted to say that if you're a part of, you know, a fan base or an audience, you should welcome new people who are also a part of the new fan base and a part of the new audience, because you guys all like the same thing. Even if just that one same thing that you guys both like is whoever you guys are listening to, or whatever you're watching or anything like that. So I would say don't be so bitter to newcomers. Even if, you know, they're just so excited about it, I would just say to welcome them, and just kind of be friends with some of these people. And the only reason I say that is because, like, Five Sauce was a thing. I don't want to say they're not a thing, but like when they did their first tour, me and Angelica had floor seats, and, you know, it was just amazing. People realized that a lot of people were going to their concert that was here in Vegas that day, because they only knew like the one song that played on the radio, She Looks So Perfect and Amnesia, and those were like the songs that they knew. But those people wanted to go to the concert too because they wanted to experience them. And so I feel like don't hate on people and don't put people down because they didn't get into the same person that you did at the same time. You know, things just take time. People blow up at different times of their life, and they have different size audiences at different times. You don't even have to acknowledge it. Just know that there's fans. You don't have to acknowledge when they became a fan, how much they know, or anything like that. Just know that, you know, there's more fans. Just go with it. Like, you don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. But you don't have to hate it, and you don't have to hate them. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed that, make sure to follow my social media and keep up with me, especially on Snapchat. I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, maybe on Thursday. If not, then I'll see you guys on Friday. But also, welcome Tom to the family. So yes, I will see you guys either on Thursday or on Friday. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.